This video goes along with worksheet 4-1B, solving equations by graphing, systems of equations by graphing. First thing you should have done right here, you should do is go to -4. Go plot your point at -4 on your y-intercept. The next thing you have, this is your slope. Your slope is already written as a fraction, so you don't really have to mess with it and trying to put it over 1. Remember, the top number tells you to go up or down. The bottom number tells you to go to the right. This is positive, so you're going to go up 2 and to the right 3. So I'm going to start at the y-intercept and go up 1, 2, over to the right 1, 2, 3, put a dot. You should be putting that on your paper. Up 2 to the right 3. Up 2 to the right 3. I can also go backwards and start back here at the y-intercept and go down 2 to the left 1, 2, 3. Down 2 to the left 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to draw my line to connect the dots. Make sure you, if you're drawing your line, you make sure it's straight. The second equation, you're going to start at the y-intercept, which is -9. I'm going to put a dot on my y-intercept. My slope right here is the number in front of x. It says a negative, which is a -1. It's a whole number, so I'm going to put it over 1. Telling me to go down 1 and to the right 1. Well, if I start here and go down 1 to the right 1, put a dot. I'm going away from the line. I'm kind of running out of room. So I'm going to go backwards. I'm going to go up 1 to the left 1. 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 I've already crossed it, ding, 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 right here. So let me draw my line, connecting my dots. Where they intersect is right at this point right here, which is -3, -6. Of course, we want to double check and make sure that we're doing this correctly. So you need to go into the calculator. First off, let's remember how to clear our memory. Second, plus sign, 7, 1, 2. We go back to y equals. Put the first equation into y1, 2/3. You do that by 2 divide 3 and the x -4. I'll go down to y2 and put in there -x -9. Now you want to first press graph and make sure you graphed your lines correctly. Are they going the right direction? Does it look about the same? Yes. Well, now let's go to the table and see if we have the right answer. Second graph. I'm going to go and look at where x is -3. Up here, y1 and y2 are the same. They're both -6. That means I'm correct. Now remember, the other way that we've talked about checking is going second, the trace button, 5 for intersect. Make sure that these are graphed before you press any other buttons. Then press enter 3 times. 1, 2, 3. It will tell you intersection and it'll give you the point, even if it's decimals or fractions. Let's go to number 2. Here's the next one. Let's graph this one. First off, start at the y-intercept at -1, and I'm going to put a dot. My slope on this one is 7. Well, it's a whole number, so I need to put it over 1. That means that I need to go, it's positive, I need to go up 7 to the right 1. So I'm going to start at the y-intercept. I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and to the right 1. I'll run out of room if I keep going up, so let me come back to my y-intercept and go backwards. I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to the left 1. Now I'm going to draw my line. Next one, my y-intercept is +1. So I'm going to go up here to +1. And it says that I guess my line's kind of thick there. Let me see if I can move it over just a bit. So I have to be careful drawing these lines. All right, 7 over 1, same thing. I'm going to go up. Up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And to the right 1, put a dot. If I go backwards and go down 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. To the left 1. And I'm going to draw my line. That looks really close. It kind of looks like they touch. But yet I'm looking at it and I'm seeing that my slopes are the same. If you have the same slopes, what are the lines? They are parallel. So it should be no solution. There should be none. But let's double check and make sure that I graphed it right. If I go to y equals, I get 7x minus 1. And then the other one is 1 plus 7x. And I press graph. They're very close to each other. If you want to look even closer, you can zoom in by pressing zoom. Right there next to the trace button. And then the number 2 for zoom in and press enter. That'll help us see that they're parallel lines. When I go to second graph, you're going to see that none of y1 and y2 match. That's how I know that these are parallel lines. Number 3. Going to number 3, I'm going to plot my y-intercept at -6. Put a dot. My slope is 1/3. That tells me to go up 1 to the right 3. So if I start here, I go up 1 at my y-intercept. I go up 1 to the right, 1, 2, 3. Up 1 to the right, 1, 2, 3. Up 1 to the right, 1, 2, 3. I can also go down 1 and to the left. 1, 2, 3. Down 1 and to the left. 1, 2, 3. I will draw my line. The next one, I go to +7 to my y-intercept at +7. Now my slope is 14 over 3. Tells me to go up 14 and to the right 3. Well, okay, that's way off my graph here. So let me go backwards, and I'm going to go down 14. That's 7, down 14, and to the right, 1, 2, 3. It looks like I hit the line right there. So let's see, I'm going to draw my line to connect these dots. It looks like it should be right here, which is -3, -7. Whoops. So let's go in the calculator and go look. I'm going to go to, let's see, I'm going to clear my memory. Second plus 7, 1, 2, because I zoomed in. Press y equals. I've got 1 divide 3, x minus 6. And in y2, 14 divide 3, x plus 7. When I press graph, make sure that you graphed your lines correctly. Now I'm going to press second graph and look and see at -3 if that's my answer. -3, -7. That and y1 and y2 are the same, so that means I'm right. Remember, the other way is second trace, 5 for intersect, enter, enter, enter. It gives me -3, -7, and I know that I'm correct. Okay, now if you notice on these problems, okay, can I go and put them in the calculator right now the way that they're written? No, you can't. Why? What do they have to be like? Y equals or slope-intercept form. So if I look at this first one, or this bottom one right here, I'll just do that because it's closer right here. What do I have to do to get y by itself right now? Divide by 8. Okay, because the 8 is right here with the y. So I'm going to divide everything by 8. I get y equals 3/8 x. Negative 8 divided by 8 is negative 1. Okay. That's fine. You can put that one in the calculator, but now I've got to rewrite that top one. Let's see. 8y plus 3x equals negative 56. Okay. So I need to solve for y and get it by itself in slope-intercept form. First, you're going to move that 3x, so I'm going to subtract 3x from each side. I have 8y equals negative 3x minus 56. Now I'm going to divide by 8. I now have y equals negative 3/8 x minus 7. Now that they're in slope-intercept form, now let's go to our handy-dandy calculator. Remember, let's remember clearing the memory. Second plus 7, 1, 2. Go to y equals. Put in there 3/8, which is 3, divide 8. The x button, remember, is up here by the alpha. Minus 1. And now I'm going to go down to y2 and put in there negative 3/8, 3 divide 8, x minus 7. I have them now in y1 and y2. I just go ahead out of habit and press graph. Because if I press graph, I see right away whether or not they're parallel or not. They are crossing. They're crossing right here on my screen. It looks like it's negative 8 or negative 9. See, this, by looking at it, gives me an idea where to look. So if I go second graph, let me go back here to negative 8 or negative 9. Do you see my answer? How do you know that it's negative 8? y1 and y2 are the same. That means that my answer over here is, whoops, let's see here. Negative 8. What was that? Negative 4? Okay. But let's just go back and let's remember how to do this with the 3 wishes. We'll go second, trace. 5 for intersect. Make sure it's graphed before you go any farther from this spot, and then enter 3 times. Negative 8, negative 4. Okay? Let's go to the next one. Take a minute and solve these for y right now, please. Okay, on this one, let me start with the bottom equation first, just because it's right there. I need to get y by itself. What's on the same side with the y? Well, the first thing I see is the plus 6, so I'm going to subtract 6 from each side. I get 2y equals negative x minus 6. I'm going to divide by 2. Y equals, now this is, people get confused when there's just an x divided by 2. This is a negative 1/2 x minus 3, because remember there's a 1 in front of this. Okay, so there's one of the equations. The other equation, let's see, I'll put it right here. X plus 2y equals 2. I'm going to subtract x from each side. You get 2y equals negative x plus 2. I'm going to divide by 2. Y equals negative 1/2 x plus 1. Well, there's something you should notice right off the bat. What do you notice? They have the same slope. Right here, if I see that they have the same slope, what's my solution? Well, they're parallel, but what's the solution? There is no solution, or it's none, whatever you want to write. The reason why there's no solution is because they're parallel. You can also put it in the calculator and check and see, but once you see that they have the same slopes and different y-intercepts, we know that they're parallel. Number 6. Let me take this bottom one right here. X equals negative y plus 9. Now, people get confused because we're used to having the y over here on the left-hand side. There's many different ways we can do this. Why don't and I'll just do it this way. I'm going to move the y to the left-hand side. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to add y to each side. I get y plus x equals 9. I'm going to subtract x from each side. Y equals negative x plus 9. There's my equation. The other equation, negative y minus x plus 9 equals 0. Well, doesn't matter which ones you move first. I'll start here. I'll move the 9 first. I'll subtract 9 from each side. Negative y minus x equals negative 9. I'm going to add x to each side. Negative y equals x minus 9. I'm still not done. I need to divide everything by negative 1. I get y equals negative x plus 9. What do you notice about these two equations? They're exactly the same, right? If they're exactly the same, I think I heard it, there are many solutions, okay? Now let me show you something in the calculator. When I go, oh, where'd my pen go? Here we go. I go to y equals. Let me put them both in there, but I'll show you. Let's see, if I put in there negative x plus 9, and I'll go down here and put that in again, negative x plus 9. I'm going to arrow all the way over to the right, or left, sorry, that's the left. And I'm going to press enter. That's going to give me a darkened line. What it's going to do when I graph, it graphed the first one, and then the second one went right on top of it. Okay, that's where the darkened line came from. The reason why there's many is because you're looking for where the two lines intersect. Well, if they're coinciding lines, that means they're laying on top of each other. That means they're the same line. They intersect at every point. That's why there's many. Number 7. So that's the last one on this one. Take a minute and solve both of these equations for y and find their intersection. Okay, on number 7, let me take this one down here. It's 34x minus 4y equals negative 36. I'm going to subtract 34x from each side. Oops. I have negative 4y equals negative 34x. Remember, these two things can't go together. They have to stay separate. Then I need to divide by negative 4. Whoops. And this gives me y equals. Now, I know a negative divided by negative is a positive. You know, I don't think this goes in there very nicely and even. But so that we can figure out for sure, remember we go second quit. Let's go in there and put 34, or I'll just put the exact numbers in there. Negative 34 divided by negative 4, and press math, enter, enter. That reduces the fraction for you. So my fraction becomes 17 over 2x. And then I've got negative 36 divided by 4. And if you didn't know what it was, negative 36 divided by negative 4, you could go math, enter, enter there. And it'll tell you that it's 9. So I get a positive 9. Whoops. There's one of my equations right here. The other equation is negative 14 minus 2y equals negative x. I'm going to add 14 to each side. Negative 2y equals negative x plus 14. I'm going to divide by negative 2. I get y equals negative divided by negative is a positive. I've got 1/2 x minus 7. Here's my other equation. So now I'm going to go to my handy dandy calculator. Put in there, let's clear those out. I've got 17 divided by 2, x plus 9. And in y2, let me move this over, 1/2 x minus 7. Let me go ahead and graph it first. Second, trace. 5 for intersect. Enter, enter, enter. It tells me it is -3, -8. See, I can look in my table and see that because, whoa, was that not the right number? Did I misread it? Oh, I did misread it. -2, -8. There it is. Whoop. -2 and then -8, -8. So my answer right here, -2, -8.